Are you looking for a neighborhood here in the Buckhead area close to all of the shopping and dining where you can get a single family home under $1 million? If so, I might just have the perfect little neighborhood to share with you. It is called Lenox Park. I'm going to walk all around this neighborhood, tell you what there is in this neighborhood, what the homes are like. So stay tuned. We're talking all about Lenox Park right now. Hey everybody, my name is Molly and welcome back to my channel where I talk all things living here in the Atlanta area. If you're making a move here, you need some help, reach out to me. All my contact information is down in the comments section. So let's talk about Lenox Park. One of you had asked me in one of the comments, hey, can you make a video on Lenox Park? Yes, I can. And if you hear some noise behind me, it's because I've got this beautiful fountain right behind me. So let me talk about that here in a little bit, but let me put Lenox Park up on a map so you can see where it is located. And you're gonna see it is just 1.5 miles away from all of the shopping in the heart of the Buckhead area. Getting over to Midtown is 15 minutes, downtown is 22 minutes, the airport is 32 minutes, but of course add on a little extra time if you're traveling during some of those peak rush hour times. So I'm going to start walking here a little bit as I talk, and I will say this is a beautiful fall day, but I don't know what I was thinking. I was wearing jeans and I should have put on shorts because it's going to be about 81 degrees out. So beautiful fall day, I cannot argue with that. But so I am in, to start out our little tour here, I am in a small little hidden gem of a park that a lot of people don't really know about. I didn't even know about this park until I got family photos taken for a holiday card probably 2 or 3 years ago. And then I was like, wow, this is such a nice little park. So this is actually a park called Lenox Park. It is surrounded by some commercial office buildings, and I feel like some of them are not being occupied right now. It seemed a little dead where I parked. There were not a lot of cars. So I think some of them are vacant right now, but this is just a beautiful little green space with some walking trails. In fact, the loop around here is 0.8 miles. I saw online that'll give you about 2,000 steps. So if you're looking for 10,000 steps, just do the loop 5 times. But yeah, this sweet little park is kind of in the center of the Lenox Park neighborhood. And I know a lot of people that live over just across the street over in the Pine Hills neighborhood will skip over here to get some exercise in as well. Pine Hills, I have a great vlog tour of that neighborhood if you're interested in looking into that neighborhood. It's right there on my channel. But Lenox Park, okay, so one thing that this neighborhood isn't. So if you're looking for a single family home with a big yard, lots of space, this is not it, okay? You might as well just stop watching the video right now. Actually, no. Please keep watching, but give me a thumbs up or, put in the comments where you're watching from. I would love to know that kind of thing too. But I will say what Lenox Park is, it's going to be a lot more of what I call cluster communities of homes. So you're going to have big homes on very tiny lots squeezed together. So you're not going to have a lot of yard maintenance. You're going to have an HOA because these are all kind of planned communities. And besides like the 3 or 4 planned communities that are in this neighborhood, there's a lot of apartment complexes. So if you're looking for an apartment complex close to all the Buckhead shopping and nightlife, that kind of thing, you might want to look in this neighborhood as well. I would say that the feel of Lenox Park is a little bit more like office space, commercial park kind of thing, but nicely done. So there you go. I'll show you some home examples here coming up, but I just want to take a quick loop around this park. Not all of it, but I definitely have seen a lot of people running. I see some people stretching right now. So a lot of people come out here to get their wiggles out and get some exercise. So this is just a great addition for this Lenox Park neighborhood because this is a very small neighborhood. There's not going to be a lot to do except for, having a house, but you're right next door to all of the Buckhead stuff. So it's a very convenient location for someone that wants kind of an easier maintenance lifestyle, not a lot of yard work, wants to be close to things to do. There's also a MARTA station very close by, less than 1 mile away over at the Lenox Park station. So if you're looking for MARTA, that's very close by as well. Okay, so now that you have seen the park, let me hop over into one of the cluster communities to show you what those are like. And we'll talk about some of the differences between the couple of different communities that you'll find here. This will probably be one of my shorter vlog tours because this is just a very small neighborhood and there's really not that much besides a couple of cluster communities and a bunch of apartments. Now, the average sales price for a single family home in the Lenox Park neighborhood is $810,000. I'd say on the high end, you're going to be paying just over $1 million. On the low end, you might get something just at the low $700K price point. But I am here first in the village of Lenox Park. This is just a sweet little community full of early 1990 build homes. You're going to see that all of the homes are built very close together. You get very little yard. You get maybe just a tiny little bit of a side yard or something like that. You'll get a back deck, that kind of thing. The HOA is $1,300 annually. I'm sure that is just for kind of the yard maintenance here in the community. And the price point here is pretty good. You're going to find homes here ranging in the $700,000 to $775,000. Now, if it's more updated, remember these were built in the 90s, so some of these could still be a little bit dated, but if it's been updated, you're going to be obviously paying a little bit more. Now, if you're curious about townhomes, stay tuned because there is a new townhome community being built as we speak, so stay tuned for that. Now, one thing I'll also mention is all of these communities, like you'll get communities like this on one side of the road, and on the opposite side of the road, you're probably going to find an apartment complex. That's the same for this community. On the other side of the road, when you exit this community, you're going to find the reserve at Lenox Park. So that's just one of the many apartment communities here in this neighborhood. Okay, so now I'm in a community called Fairway Gardens. It's a nice, again, cluster community, just a small handful of homes built in the late 1990s. I feel like these are really nice. I did not pull any of the stats for this community in particular. Now, you may be asking yourself, are all of these communities gated? No, the last one I was at is not gated. This one is not gated. The next one I'm going to is gated. So it really just kind of depends on the community. But let me get up here on this main road and I'm going to point out something just as an FYI. Okay, so now I'm walking on one of the main roads that kind of cuts through this neighborhood. And something I want to point out, for example, that community I was just in, the Fairway Gardens, so that is right behind me. And if your home backs up to this busy road, I just wanted to point out that your home is going to be very close and you're going to feel a little bit on top of this road. So if you are seeking a little bit more privacy, you're probably going to want for one of those homes that's in the back of the neighborhood, not on the front where the back of the house is facing the main road. So just wanted to point that out. And then you'll see, like I said, on the other side, this is a huge apartment complex called Arium. I'm not for sure how it is pronounced. And one thing I will say is don't be reaching out to me asking me which apartment complexes are good or bad. I don't do apartments, so I cannot tell you or give you any kind of good reviews on apartment complexes. Okay, I thought I had a gate code to enter the Fairway Estates complex, but apparently I do not. So I will just tell you about this complex really quick. These homes were built in the late 90s. The HOA here is $2,800 per year. Homes here are going to cost anywhere from $775,000 to $900,000. Most of them will have a basement. Again, some will be updated better than others because these were built in the 90s, but you'll get around 3,000 to 3,500 square feet. And again, these are going to be directly across from this Arium complex. So, okay, I've got one more cluster community area that I can show you, and it's a little bit more pricey, but we'll see what that looks like next. All right, one last community to show you. This is kind of on the northern end of the Lenox Park area. I'm over in the arbors at Lenox Park, and these homes, although they will seem like they're not that big, they range anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 square feet. The HOA is $325 a month, I'm sure, to handle some of those landscaping needs. But you're going to see kind of this main street here. It's pretty narrow. There's not a lot of guest parking except for in your driveways. But like I said, these are pretty big homes. They were built in the late 1990s. Now these will cost a little bit more. They're going to range, the last couple of sales I saw here were anywhere from $1 million to, I think there's one for sale for $1.25 million. So a little bit more on the pricier side, but obviously you get a lot more space. But a very quiet community, and that is one thing about all of these communities here in Lenox Park. It's very quiet and peaceful, yet, like I said many times, you are just like a mile and a half away from all of the restaurants, all the Buckhead stuff that you would want. And also, if you're wondering about grocery stores, those are very convenient to this location as well. There is a Kroger just up the road off of Peachtree Road, and there is also a Publix nearby as well. So all of that kind of thing is very convenient as well. So this neighborhood in general just offers you a very convenient lifestyle where you're not very far from anything. It's just a quick drive away. So let me cross the street now and talk about that new townhome construction community. If you're looking for new construction and you like townhomes, this might be a match. Okay, so right across the street from the arbors at Lenox Park, which I was just at, is a new townhome community being built as we speak. You can tell behind me it is still a work in progress, but this is being built by Empire Communities. The neighborhood is called the Preserve at Lenox Park, and Empire Communities is building townhomes all around town and in the suburbs, and I'm used to seeing kind of in the in-town areas at least, most of the townhomes that they're building are very skinny and narrow just because the space is at a premium. But here, these townhomes are going to be a little bit bigger. They are going to be in that 2,700 square foot range. You'll get a 3-bedroom, 3.5, or a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. These are going to cost you in the low $900K price point. So they aren't the cheapest of townhomes, but that's just kind of what you're going to have to pay to be so close to the Buckhead area. The HOA here is $385 a month, and it looks like they're building about 59 units. The great thing about this location is literally, if you see behind me now, there is one commercial building, but you just keep walking down this road here, and at the end you're going to hit that Lenox Park green area, which is where I opened up this video. So you'll be really close to a nice green space. Plus, you're just like a mile and a half away from all of the shops. And speaking of that, if you're kind of wondering how close are we really to all of the shops, I'm just going to drive over to the Phipps Plaza, and I'll time it so I can tell you exactly how long it takes. But that's just one great thing about here is it's so close. So let me hop in my car. I will time it and let you know how long it takes me to get into all of the commercial stuff here in the Buckhead area. Okay, I got my timer. Here we go. All right, so there you go. I clocked it just under 5 minutes to get over to the Phipps Plaza, which is kind of like your upscale mall. It's right along Peachtree Road, and right across the street you've got a Target, and actually I could have pulled in there a little bit early. I would have made it there in like probably 3.5 minutes. There's a Target, a Publix, there's an LA Fitness there, Dick's Sporting Goods. So yeah, as you can see, it does not take very long to get from that quiet little sanctuary of Lenox Park up to the hustle and bustle here in the heart of the Buckhead area. So let's go over a quick little pros and cons of living in the Lenox Park neighborhood. On the pro side, I would definitely say it's a very convenient location. There's not a lot to do in that neighborhood, but you are so close to all of the shopping and dining, and also to transport access like the MARTA station. Also, you're going to have less yard maintenance. So if you're not into having a big yard, this is a great option for you. Also, these are much more affordable single-family homes than you would find anywhere else in the Buckhead area. I mean, the average price for a single-family home in all of Buckhead is definitely over $1 million, so you're getting a great find there. But on the con side, you are not getting a yard. That is one definitely big con of this neighborhood. Also, these homes are a little bit on the dated side. These were all built in the 1990s, so if it hasn't been updated, it may feel a little bit dated, especially the layouts. Also, it has an HOA, so you know, if you don't want to have an HOA, this may not be ideal for you. But honestly, the HOA fees are very minimal for on an annual basis, so those don't really bother me that much. But there is an HOA attached to these communities. All right, you guys, well, that concludes my Lenox Park tour. What'd you think? Like it? Don't like it? Well, hey, if you've got questions about it, or especially those new build townhomes, or reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, whatever you want to do. Do not be shy. I love hearing from you guys. And if you see me out in the wild, make sure you say hello. I would love to say thank you for watching. I truly, truly do appreciate it. And hey, if there's a neighborhood that you want to learn more about, just send me a note or put it down in the comments. Would love to hear that too. But hope this was helpful for you. But until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.